Dear Chamber faithful, welcome to Advocacy in Action. Before we begin the program, I'd just like to remind you that the Boise Metro Chamber is the only 5-star accredited member of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce here in the state of Idaho. That gives us a distinction to advocate and educate on issues that impact our members. The programs and services we provide support 4 core areas: economic vitality, advocacy, education, and member engagement. We're excited to continue to provide high-quality educational content today. However, it would not be possible without our sponsor. Hawley Troxell provides clients with the most sophisticated legal services in Idaho by using a creative and entrepreneurial approach designed to get results. At their core, they understand what it means to provide professional service to clients. Their collective experience lets them provide solutions to the challenges of doing business from formation to exit. Whether one-on-one counsel or a team approach, they tailor their services to meet their clients' needs at competitive Idaho rates. Their clients are local, national, as well as international. Hawley Troxell is the exclusive member firm in Idaho for Lex Mundi, the world's leading network of independent law firms with in-depth experience in 100-plus countries worldwide, and SCG Legal, a global network of the profession's preeminent independent law firms located in 82 countries around the world. I'm happy to be representing them today with some of their swag, and thank you again, Hawley Troxell, for making education like this possible. So, let's get into it, shall we? House Bill 436, last week we told you that our Legislative Policy Committee unanimously supported House Bill 436. It consolidates income tax brackets from 5 brackets to 4 in the state of Idaho. On the top end, personal income tax was a 6.5% tax bracket, but that's going to be lowered to 6% if this bill becomes law. It lowers income tax to 6%, making us more competitive with our neighboring states, leaving more of our businesses hard-earned income in their pockets so they can compete with workforce competition they're seeing, pay their people more, invest in whatever they need to invest to stay on the cutting edge of business. And so it also provides a one-time $350 million rebate for 2022 taxes, and it provides ongoing tax relief because of the lowering of the tax rates that should add up to about $251 million in tax relief. So the Chamber supported this. We've been, for years, we have advocated to make ourselves more competitive on the corporate income tax side of things with our neighboring states, economic development tool, and so we're really happy to see this legislation coming forward. On the floor debate that legislation is always exciting to watch. The way that people can agree on what should be, that they want to do something, just they have those different variables in the values that say, well, we want to do it different. So this is what Representative, and I should say before I start with the quotes, a big thank you to Betsy Russell from the Idaho Press, Ion Boise. She always does amazing things. Idaho Press is a wonderful member of the Chamber, and all the quotes that I'm reading today come from her story and the great coverage that she provides on the Idaho legislature. So, Representative Nicochia said that you'd seen the data, you know how lopsided it is. I don't understand why people keep doing this, lowering the taxes for the people who need it least. This is pretty representative of the Democrat side of the aisle on this, the take on this bill. They'd like to see that instead of it being based on how much taxes you've paid and a rebate based on that, they'd like to see the money be distributed in a different fashion so that more tax relief came to, and obviously you have to go with their interpretation as to the people that need it, and then less tax relief on the higher end of earners in Idaho. So I thought that was pretty representative of the quotes I saw from the floor debate on the bill yesterday, because it passed from the House and it goes on to the Senate, right? So Representative Nicochia, very, very intelligent representative, I think pretty representative of the Democrats that voted against the legislation. Then we had House Majority Leader Mike Moyle. He co-sponsored the bill, and he said that it's really hard to cut taxes for people who don't pay taxes, meaning, the tax relief comes when you pay taxes, and so it's based on that. Now, kind of acting as a kind of in the middle of these two ideas of tax relief, Representative Scott from Nampa said, "Things are not so dire as I've heard. This year we can have our cake and eat it too." He noted that there's a clause in the bill for those who don't want the money. You can go through the tax commission and donate your money to the public schools or other good things. I encourage people to do that. Actually, that was a wrinkle of the law that I just learned about from the quote, and I actually think that's a really neat thing that's involved with the law. If you feel like you don't need that money and you want it to go towards public education or any other, whatever they list on here, and we'll follow up on that. But kind of a neat option that you have to say, I'll forego my tax rebate because I want my tax dollars to go here. So that's a great part. Now, interestingly, Representative Fred Wood out of Burley, he was the lone dissenting vote on the Republican aisle. And again, just to talk about how we have variables, about things that weigh a little more for us than other people, and we're all different. He said that what we're about to do is cut the revenue stream that will allow us to do this in the future, meaning tax relief or, infrastructure. He says this kind of smells a little bit like the way Congress operates and not the Idaho legislature. Obviously, Representative Wood would like to see those funds go into other programs for the state, specifically infrastructure programs. Can definitely respect where he's coming from, but just to highlight how interesting it is and how many, even inside your own party, how we can have different variables of things that weigh just a little bit more important on certain issues. So really enjoyed that story from Betsy Russell and the floor debate that happened yesterday. Just thought you'd find that interesting. Now this week, when our policy committee met, we again had unanimous support for a new bill that was introduced, House Bill 444. Now this bill extends immunity from liability to businesses. For example, if you went to a restaurant, you came home, you tested positive for COVID, this bill is extending a law that was passed in 2020 to protect businesses from liability. You can't sue a business and say, I got COVID when I went and got a hamburger at your place. That immunity now extend from when it would have sunsetted in July 1st of this year, 2022, to July 1st, 2023. It's a chicken and egg situation. There haven't been lawsuits that have been brought. Now, is that because legislation exists or because people just don't want to think that businesses are responsible for them getting sick, whether it's a cold or a flu or COVID? Nationally, that trend is what some of our policy committees have seen, that people aren't suing about this nationally. Again, it's chicken and egg, but it is nice to know that the legislature is looking out for our business owners, saying, we don't want you to be held responsible if someone gets COVID in your place of business. So with that, we've reached the end of our presentation of Advocacy in Action this week. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.